Hi, I'm Diane Morton-Gattullo. Welcome to another episode of A Message with Edward Nunzio. And if you would like to be on an episode of the show and come and meet Ed in person, you can email him at themessenger628@gmail.com. Now, stay tuned to another great episode. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Edward Nunzio, the messenger, and today's guest is Jackie.
Yes.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi,
how
how
are
are
you
you?
doing? The only thing I need from you, Jackie, or from anyone, is the first name and date of birth, not the year.
Jackie and 823.
The reason why I don't ask I only ask for certain information is because the other part, your year, nobody's interested in that you're 19, 20, or 30. Okay. Some people out there maybe, but no. All right. So Jackie, this is how it works. If you see me doing this, I'm asking the loved one for more information.
Okay.
Jackie, who has the initial J besides you?
My sister and my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of family has J, but
Okay. Who around you was very impatient? They're tapping their foot. Who is this?
my husband always tapped his foot when I don't know if he was just impatient, it was just how,
Okay.
that's what
Well,
he did.
when I see something, it doesn't mean that he just, out of habit, tapped it. It's the way that I'm seeing something. Is his grandmother on the other side?
Yes.
Everything I'm saying to you, Jackie, I'm writing down.
Okay.
So if you see me, I'm not ignoring anyone, it's just that I'm writing it down. So when I say hold my hand, I don't want you to hold my hand, but this is what you did for him, hold his hand. Oh shoot, I wrote it and I lost it. Besides all these women that you named with the J, who's James?
That's a good friend of mine.
Your friend or your husband's friend?
I would say both. It was both.
Okay, James is both. I don't want to say your favorite place to shed your tears, but tell me about your bed pillow.
I have his shirt on the pillow next to me.
Okay. Do you feel, Jackie, that your husband fought enough, or he could have fought a little bit more?
Oh no, he fought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he did. He fought as much as he possibly could. And somebody whispered in his ear. Who whispered in his ear?
His sister.
Okay. You brought a photo with you today. May I see them, please?
Yeah. This is the one I brought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he always? I got to see if I can stand it up
Yeah.
here, Jackie.
Thanks.
Did he always play music alone? Because I see people around him playing music.
Around him playing music?
Yeah.
I mean, he usually played alone. I mean, he liked playing for people. He always liked, having people listen to him, but he just played all the time.
He just played by himself, or did he have a friend or do I have to leave that for a family member to answer that question? Growing up.
Growing up, I would say his father played guitar, so
Okay.
that could be that as well.
Does your father-in-law suffer with like an asthma, a breathing?
No.
Who
With breathing on his side,
on his side?
I mean, his mom is a smoker, so
And when I say something, that doesn't mean that person's going to
yeah.
leave.
I would say if anything with breathing, I would say more that his mom, not his father.
Who's Joey?
I mean, I have a cousin Joey. I have an Uncle Joe.
Okay. But they're with us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because not everybody I say is on the other side, and that doesn't mean that they're getting ready to leave. But I'm going to go back to the breathing in a little bit with one of the other guests.
Okay.
Because something doesn't feel right. I'm not getting. I don't feel I have the right information as of yet. How many times did you force your husband to eat?
And there's no number.
There's no number because
Infinite.
what I hear him say is, I'll leave out the one word. That you're a little bit of a pain in the neck, but I'll leave
I
out
know, I
the other
was.
word is a B.
Yeah, I was.
All right, but it's all in love, and love, Jack. Jackie, did you ever get ossified?
Ossified?
Meaning to drink?
I've got in the past, but I'm not a drinker per se.
No, I'm not saying you're a drinker.
Oh.
But what happened between you and he and the alcohol?
I mean, we've been together for 20 years, so, when I first met him, he was a drinker, so.
Okay.
I could be here for 2 hours telling you stories about stuff with that, yeah.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants you here for 2 hours, but I want to go home. Your husband like a lot of different animals?
I mean, he did watch National Geographic more than I thought he did. When I would come home, it was always on, which I was surprised because I didn't know that about him until later on.
How
So
many
I
years
guess-
were you married to?
Married for 9, but together for 20. I know, you would think.
You would think, all right, but I'm.
Yeah.
Did he have a little comic timing to him?
Oh, he was funny.
We have a guest here we're going to bring in shortly, but there's one of the guests in the lineup, and it's more towards the end that I think they broke her chops a little bit.
Okay.
Who is it? Who would he tease out of the sisters?
I feel like there's always something he would find something for all of them. Whether it be my sister, his sisters, he just did that.
And out of the sisters, who is the easy crier?
Easy Craw? Oh, that's his younger sister, Jen.
Jen is with us today?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll bring her out shortly.
Sure.
I don't smell smoke on him. Was he a smoker of sorts? Of sorts?
Of sorts, yes.
Yes, okay. So we're not talking about a regular cigarette?
That is correct.
Okay.
Right.
So, okay. Up there, you don't even have to roll them.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Did I ask you about a John?
No, but I
Who's-
have my brother-in-law and my nephew.
Let's go to your nephew, because
Okay.
when I went like this, was he very close to this boy?
Yeah.
All right, because he's always seems to be around this boy. Because when I went like this, it's like he's stroking his face, like giving so much love. Now, we all love pasta and meatballs.
Yeah.
All right. So when you make pasta and meatballs, what are you going to think of?
When I make them,
Yeah, if you make, if
oh
you
my God,
just,
he always did that. Yeah.
oh, he made the pasta.
He
and
made the meatballs.
All right. Oh, your meatballs lousy?
I just never made him. He always wanted to do it.
Okay.
He wouldn't
Because your
let me.
meatballs were lousy. Okay. Come on. Were you always worried that he was going to stumble?
Well,
Stumble means to fall.
I mean,
Balance.
towards the end,
Okay.
without a doubt. Yeah.
So you know, whatever I'm telling you, I'm hearing it from.
Well, then that's accurate, especially the last few weeks. Yeah.
When he was diagnosed, I think he was in more shock than you, because I don't think that he expected for them to come back and say what they told him. Not that you weren't in shock, but it was like it shouldn't have been.
Right.
It should not have been, but we only get as much time as we need here. And I was just about to say something, but I think we have like, I don't want to spoil it for the audience
Okay.
yet. All right. But we do have a couple of special guests coming on, which is, I didn't get your husband's first name, I'm sorry.
Patrick.
I didn't get the name, so I have to be honest. We have a couple of Patrick's loved ones here, I believe 2 of his sisters and his favorite sister-in-law.
That's right.
So we'll let me see if there's anything else. I don't understand this happy anniversary. When is your anniversary?
Just passed. It's
Okay.
March 28th.
And so he's wishing you a happy anniversary. He showed me champagne glasses. And, when it's your anniversary or his birthday, or you can always have a cake for him and drink that bottle of champagne and always remember him the way that he was,
Right.
not the way that he passed. Here, Jackie, this is everything I wrote.
Okay,
So
thank you.
You're welcome to that. And now we're going to a break. See you shortly.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back. I'm Edward Nunzio, the messenger, and welcome Jennifer. Jennifer, I said to Jackie, who whispered in his ear. How many times did you whisper in your brother's ear?
A few.
A few. Did you deliver a message that wasn't factual yet?
Yes.
And that was to make your brother happy. Did you know that this was going to happen?
Yes, I had hoped.
You hoped. So it wasn't factual as of yet. So basically you didn't do anything wrong, all right? Mm-hmm. So I know that Jackie and Pat, because she said her husband's name, were trying desperately to have a baby, correct? Mm-hmm. And
Here it goes. Okay.
So you couldn't carry long term.
It just wasn't happening.
It just wasn't happening, but you could make eggs, correct?
Yes.
And of course he could make what he needed to make.
Yes,
right?
he could.
Because without his and your egg, we can't make a baby, correct? It's very hard to keep it as clean as I possibly can. So, a month later, if I'm correct, what happens?
I was inseminated with their embryo.
Right. So you're carrying your sister-in-law's egg, and your brother fertilized the egg, so you're carrying it for full length.
Yep.
God bless you.
Yep. Inseminated a month to the day later.
Yeah. All right. So you didn't tell him a fib, so to say. You let him leave Earth plane believing that he was going to be a dad. But I could tell you this, that I believe that your brother knew already, even though it didn't happen then, that it was going to happen, because he was in a different frame So when someone is getting ready to leave Earth plane like he was, you would start to see different relatives and things from the past. And I believe on Jackie's card, his grandmother came through. Is that correct? Was it your, right? So it's your grandmother that came through. And how did you feel when you told your brother that you were having a baby? That they were having a baby?
Well, it kind of was a real spur of the moment thing. But the first time, I don't know, it was kind of not exactly in that moment. So the first time, we didn't know how he was going to react, but he was so happy.
He was so happy.
That, it made me more so want to get this done,
I'm going to tell you quickly a little story about my niece, my mother, and what was told to me. I was told I didn't have to go to the cemetery. My mother was already deceased. I didn't have to go to the cemetery any longer because she was coming back. But a particle of, not the entire person. And I just told the person, I thought they were so full of it. I said, nobody in the family is pregnant. Well, soon, a few weeks later, I went to my niece, I said, you're pregnant. And she said, no, I'm not. I went a week later, and then, of course, later on, she was pregnant. Now I go see the baby when the baby is born, and I'm talking to the baby, and the baby is a newborn infant is talking, laughing at everything I was saying. All I was saying to her is, you do remember me, and she would laugh. And my brother, who was also gone, said, what are you saying? I said, I wasn't ready to reveal it yet, that's between the baby and myself. So what I do believe is that this child will come back as particle or part of, because he is part of Patrick and you. And now there was, from what I understand, a gender reveal. So how did you work out that? Before, don't give away whether it was a boy or girl, but start with how you planned on.
Jackie did most of the planning.
Well, my husband played pool, and so do I. But that was like a second passion of his. And we have a pool table in our house. So me and my sister looked online to see if they had pool balls as a reveal, and they did. So my sister was the only one that knew the gender, so she ordered the pool balls, and I shot it, and it exploded with the color powder. I just know I did it with his pool stick, and I was just trying to think of something
that's how
very
the
different.
baby came about, with his pool stick.
Right.
So, what?
So it's all like a big circle.
Okay. Now, your mom was there?
No, she wasn't able to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your dad was there?
Yes.
And your in-laws were there?
Yes.
And yous were both there? And there's two other ladies that are not on camera as of yet. They're out in the audience. What did they think you were having?
Well, one of them knew. My sister knew, so she, couldn't tell us. His other sister Tara didn't want to tell us. She was like playing Switzerland, so
Right.
she didn't really say whether she thought it was a boy or a girl. She wouldn't tell us.
Right,
So
okay.
yeah, and even her shirt said like pink or blue. Auntie loves you. So like, all right, she just wasn't going anyway.
And
Yeah.
Jennifer, correct?
Yes.
You, when you talk about this pregnancy, you make it sound like it's her pregnancy.
It is.
She gets the nausea. She gets the what do women desire? The desire.
Cravings?
The cravings. She gets the craving.
You getting that heartburn?
I do.
She gets the heartburn. So I'm sure, and I'm more than 100% sure that when this baby comes, when it's born, he will be right there. And before I reveal the gender of the baby, what will take place is that the child, as he gets older, or as she gets older, I didn't give away the gender yet, as the child gets older, he'll be able to communicate until the age of 3. So you're going to think it's an imaginary playmate, and it's really his father or her father. So we will ask the audience, if I had a voting machine, I wish I did, to ask the audience, is it a boy or is it a girl? So, but we're not going to tell you yet.
No.
Tell me about your grandmother.
She was a lot older than me, so
I would hope so.
I mean, she was pretty old by the time I remember, but very sweet. Very old-fashioned, and we remember most of the time we were at her house, sharpening pencils with a knife, because she didn't have a sharpener.
Do you recall anything wrong with grandmother's hand?
No.
Because I feel like there's pulling in my hand.
It could have been. I was the youngest, so she was already pretty old
like
when
me?
I can remember.
Old like me? All right. Your boy is, I'm just looking at your paper. Your boy is John?
No.
Which is your boy?
2 boys. I don't.
I mentioned a boy that he was close to. What was the name?
It was John, but it's my sister's
It's the other. It's the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how old are your boys?
5 and 7.
And tell me about the 7-year-old. What is he seeing and feeling?
He's special. He's everything. He's shy, but he's really funny, and he just keeps saying that he hopes whoever this baby comes back as will be the new tickle monster, like Uncle Patrick.
Okay. So, does he ever say that he sees Patrick?
Not that he sees him, but a couple of times he'll just say, "I just thought of that. You know what I just thought about? Uncle Patrick." And so he'll randomly say things like that.
So my words seeing and thinking are similar because it's like that flash of energy that passes the person. The 5-year-old, what is he?
He's nonverbal, so I don't know how he really feels about all of this, but he's so loving, and yeah, I know.
All right. You said he's nonverbal, so I don't believe in labels. So, but we're going to call him one of God's true little angels. All right. When he's looking out at nothing in the air, you ever notice him do that? Where he'll just, something will catch his eye and he'll just pay attention to it. But he's unable to tell you what he's seeing, correct? He is still, to my belief, he is still connected, this child is still connected to the angelic realm. They never, certain children just never lose that, what they're capable of seeing or feeling. How do you feel that the other boy named John, correct? The other boy, John, senses Patrick?
I love it.
Okay, so...
I want anyone who loved him to have a piece of him.
Okay. And what else did you whisper in here? What promises did you make your brother?
I told him never to forget that he's a daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, don't forget, you're a dad, you're a daddy, and we're going to make sure that him or her, I actually told him it was a boy. And obviously I don't know, but didn't know. But yeah, I told him it was a boy and that we would take care of him and we would help Jackie with anything she needed.
You said I told him it was a boy. So your higher self, do you believe that your higher self knew what you would be carrying a month after he passes? I'm so sorry.
I don't think I thought of that.
I think it was hope.
Yeah, I think it was just hope, because I thought this baby was a girl.
All right. You know what the higher self means? The higher self means something that's coming in from the universe. And here you're telling Patrick it's a boy. And what do we have? What are you carrying? A baby boy. So we're going to put it this way. So sometimes, to enlighten you, sometimes when you thought you told him a fib, you were telling him a reality that was going to take place. When you told Patrick that it was a boy, you seen something in the future, but you thought it was a girl, because we don't believe when we know something. Right? We just don't want to believe that we could see and we could feel things. When did Patrick squeeze your hand?
when I told him that he didn't have to fight anymore.
Okay. What he said, what he said to me to say to you, thank you from my heart. You helped release his burden. It's hard enough for us to come into this world, but it's just as hard for us to leave. There's not one of us here that want to leave, but Patrick did what he needed to do for himself. We're going to a break, and then we're going to bring back the other guest. Thank you.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Welcome back. We have Jamie and Tara, and of course we have Jackie and Jennifer, correct? Welcome back. Jamie, before I was given the name John, and that is your son, correct? And he's the one that's connected to his Uncle Patrick. Can you give us some information, not information, tell us how he sees and feels his uncle?
Well, he does, when my sister was at the house, he does see, he says, like a black, like, I don't know if you want to say light or just something pass him real quick. It was funny because when he said that, I said, oh, I see that too, but we just never thought it was anything. And then he says, when my sister was at my house, he would always say how much he thought about him. And
what is with television and your brother-in-law, Pat, and your son? Television. Do you remember anything they watched together, or?
I don't know.
Okay. When you said, does your son have any interest in music?
Well, he likes music to listen to. My other son plays the piano.
Okay, that's okay. So, and give me their ages.
My older son is 14.
And that's John?
That's John.
And?
My other son is 10.
And give me his name.
Anthony.
Okay.
And I have another, but I don't know.
Okay. When you spoke about passing, or the boy saying it's like a shadow passing, we use that. When I was a kid, I would call it the nuns just passed by, meaning a spirit has just passed by, and that's our loved ones. It comes like in shadow form, so to say. I have to go back to the television. Let's go to the younger one, Anthony. Does he have anything with the television?
I mean, he watches television and YouTube.
Right.
But
If you were running a film on there of Patrick, how long would he sit there and watch that television?
Anthony?
Anthony.
He could probably watch it all the time.
All right. Over and over and over?
Probably.
Okay. Let me go to the older boy, John, because John is where I said to Jackie earlier, I felt my face being stroked by Patrick. What does he feel? What does John feel? What does he express about Patrick?
I guess it was hard for him to understand at first. He knew what had happened. I think he doesn't like to cry in front of me at all, or anybody. But I think he does or did cry, just wasn't in front of us.
Right.
You know, he was very close to
Right.
Pat because that was his first nephew, I guess. So I guess that's why.
Okay. Sometimes two people, an uncle and a nephew, an uncle and a niece, could be very, very close because they're just close and may not be as close to the rest of the children. What does the color orange or eating an orange mean?
Eating an orange.
The smell of an orange.
I don't know. Jack, do you know? I don't know what orange.
Jackie, did your husband like oranges?
I mean, he loved fruit, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, all my kids love
Okay.
fruits.
Because when I went like this, I smelled oranges. Tara, you're the quietest of all.
Yes.
Who came up with the idea of the pool and
That was me.
Whoops. Sorry.
and how did you come the pool stick? How did you come up with that?
Me, Jackie, and Jennifer were out for lunch one day, and we were talking about ideas for the reveal. And I was like, thinking we should just do something with pool because he really loved pool. And I started looking up things online, and then I showed Jackie some of the pool balls. Pool balls. Yeah.
Now, your sister with this young lady,
Yes.
and your sister to Jackie, correct? Question for you that I'm hearing. Go back to your childhood for both of you, and if Patrick, if you were passing and he was standing behind a door, what would he do to you?
You sure that's not about me?
I pointed to
Me,
you.
definitely you. Oh my God, it scared me all the time.
Because I wrote down the word, and you'll see the word spook. So, right now we're doing, this is such a great thing that, the baby and the revealing, but I'm trying to now put it all together and still work and hear what Patrick is saying.
Yeah. I should add that he did that well into adulthood.
Right.
As an adult.
So he was
still-
always a
yeah.
child.
Yeah, and
Told
I
you.
was always scared every time.
The word gloves mean what? Gloves.
I don't know.
Patrick and gloves.
Did you put on gloves? Gloves. I don't know.
I mean, it could be he was a fighter when he was younger. Who knows?
All right, so
but I don't know.
gloves to fight.
I don't.
I mean,
When he
yeah,
was
I don't
young,
he did fight.
but I don't know. I'm not. That's guessing.
I don't know which one. I'm going to ask you rather. Tell me about his hands when he was getting ready to pass. Was his hands tense?
I think you guys would know. You would probably know.
He couldn't hold things.
Yeah,
All right,
uh,
that's
you know,
what the
he was
gloves
having
are
really
about.
a lot of
See, it's
trouble.
symbolic, and I have to try to figure it out, and so my hands are
Yeah.
like tense.
So we had to hold
Yeah.
things for
That,
him.
because I'm getting all this type of information, that doesn't mean that he's like that now. I want to make sure I heard it right. What would Patrick? What would be? There's a great picture of you. So I'm gonna of you and him. So I'm gonna put it up for the audience to see. What would be Patrick's unfavorite color?
Probably like pink. Well, yeah,
Well,
because his favorite color was black. So
right.
just like the opposite.
all right, be the opposite. Tell me about the color brown.
What was he a certain belt? He do karate when he was younger?
Gosh, when we were kids, I don't remember what
I
he
don't
got
know.
up to.
You may remember that later because he's showing me the color brown. So that's why he said least favorite color.
Okay.
If you had to do something over with your brother, what would you do?
I have one ready. I always say that we were just so busy in our own lives, even though we were always talking, just be together more, you know, because we always thought there was more time.
We all think we have always a lot of time. And Jennifer, what would be your...
To hug more, because I'm not a hugger.
You're not a hugger.
But he loved your...
So he would hug her with her arms straight, and he would just hug her.
Like a board.
Yeah. I wouldn't have changed that. I don't think he would have changed that for the world either.
Well,
And for the record, I'm sorry, I forgot it was your idea, the pool ball. Just want to throw that out there.
Your idea.
in your private moments with your husband, now we're not going to the intimate moments, what was all the giggling and laughing about?
With me and him?
Yeah, well, not me and him.
Sure. You mean just throughout our relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, me and him, we were best friends. Everything, our sense of humors were like exactly the same. We laughed at everything.
Okay.
Stupid jokes. He always told like the corniest jokes, but he laughed at his own, which I always thought was funny that he would laugh at his own. I mean, we just,
I think that's why you laugh at
laughing
John's
was
jokes.
constant with us. Yeah.
Both your parents are with us, correct?
Yes.
Was Patrick more worried about his dad than his mother?
I think so.
Okay. Do you know the reason?
My dad is forgetful.
Okay. All right. You ever throw Patrick out of the house and he came back?
Well, I didn't throw him out. I mean, he's gone out for quite a long ride. So far. So it's, you know.
But he came back.
Always. We never went to bed angry.
Okay. So that's when I'm saying you threw him out. All right. So I extended.
I probably made him leave. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so, but that was the making up was the best part. All right.
yeah.
In your, when it's any of your time, like your time or anybody, our loved ones that have crossed over come and receive us. They come and take us. They help us leave, not take us. Did Patrick ever mention to you, I'm going to start with you, that he would see things or mention the loved ones that have crossed over?
No. Can I say one thing with
Yes.
that? When he was in the hospital, he kept insisting that it was when Jen and I were with him at the hospital. He kept insisting that there was a third person that he was describing as a short, bald man. And he's like, "There's three of you in the room," and he kept swearing that there was that third person
He said,
in the
I know
room.
there's not, but there is.
Yeah. He's like, "I know they're not here, but I feel like they're here." He kept saying that.
Well, I know they're not here, meaning they're on the other side, so he knew that they weren't with you. Is there anyone in the family that knows who this person was?
Either one of our grandfathers.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I feel like he was describing Mom's.
That's what I was just
Maybe
gonna
Grandpa
say.
Louie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah, I feel like he fit the description because Patrick was describing him.
Yeah.
Do you remember that grandfather?
Yeah.
Did he smell of smoke?
Probably. He was a
He's
smoker.
so
Because I smell smoke. Okay. So he was being prepared to leave Earth Plane. At that particular time, they start to see loved ones that have crossed over. I was going to tell you another, and I may have said it before, but I'm going to repeat it if I didn't, about my oldest son standing in the corner and just chatting away, but I never scared him to say, "Who are you talking to?" And when he finished his conversation, and I said, "Philip, who were you speaking to?" And he said, "I was speaking to Papa and my proper given last name." So when we went to visit my mother, I took him into the bedroom and I showed him a picture of my father and I said, "Who is this?" He said, "Daddy, I told you that's Papa and proper last name."
Yeah.
Because he never met my father in life, but he met him in the angelic realm.
Yeah.
Just as Patrick already knows this child. We're going to go down the road a minute just to change it a little bit. What are you, Tara, most afraid of?
I don't know. In general?
In general.
I don't know. Sometimes I get afraid of not being able to be there for everyone, especially my family.
But you'll always be there. Even when we're not here, we'll always be there. All right, not that you're going anywhere. I would like to see for you, Tara, give me your birthday.
10-9.
I would like to see for you to be a little more happier than you are. Can you understand that?
I can.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we don't have to go into detail.
I feel like I'm happy, but I'm always like motion. You know, everything's. I'm busy.
Right.
That's what.
But what are you busy doing? Up here, you're busy, or you're actually physically busy?
Both.
All right. So we have to get out of our head, because what you're doing is you're like a sponge. You're picking up everything and being concerned over it. Nothing for you to be concerned about. I'm going to ask you the same question. Give me your birthday, Jamie.
12/18.
Last year would be very rough for you,
Yeah.
and this year's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Jamie, do you have stomach issues?
No.
Is something going on in your lower part of your body at this present time?
No. What? Oh, I had a virus.
You had a virus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did the virus end?
A few days ago.
Okay. Well, you're still carrying particles up.
Great.
Hi, Saul.
Great.
The bathroom is that way.
Wonderful.
And Jamie, give me your birthday, huh?
You mean Jen?
Jen?
Jen, I'm sorry.
4/12.
Let that go. I'll get back to you in a minute. Patrick has shown me rows of books. Books and books and books. What are these books?
The only thing I could think of, he has a lot of books of like music, like his guitar. Like
Okay.
he has a lot of
Look at
that,
his drawings.
and his drawings. Yeah, he also drew, and he has a book of all his drawings. So it could be a couple things.
I wish you would have brought them. Well, who did this motion with their hand?
Well, he had this thing that he used to. It was like a grip where he used to
Okay.
do it to like make his hand stronger. So he always did that.
Mommy does too.
Oh, and my mother does that. Oh, right, yeah.
Now, I want to talk to you, and this could go for any of you, and I'm pointing my finger at you. Who did this? Not only you, I mean, this is who is that?
That's Grandma. Grandma would
She did
always
do
point
that.
her finger at us.
Yeah, our grandmother.
So grandma's on the other side, we established. So grandmother and Patrick are definitely together, along with the other person that he would bring up in the hospital. Now, going back to you, I wrote it down here. I'm sorry, give me your birthday again.
4/12.
Are you, after the birth of this child, which is her child, and your very special child, are you ready to make changes in your life?
I hope so.
Okay.
I need to.
Yes, there will be changes, but first you're going to go through the whole birth process before, and that's going to help you decide on how happy you want to be. All right. And you're a very lovely, generous individual, but I don't get a very happy camper. All right? So we're going to let the rest of that go.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, what about me? Give me your birthday, Jackie.
8/23.
In all the years of work that I've worked with so many people and a lot of hardship, young people, young kids that have passed, yours is a very difficult story, but a most wonderful story, because here we lose the love of your life, but now your love of your life is coming in.
Yeah.
So how could we be unhappy, even though it's an emotional, a very emotional thing that you've gone through, and here you're bringing in. If you were to meet someone, Patrick is perfectly happy with that, as long as you're happy and you're safe. And that's all he really cared about, was your safety. I don't know why. Jackie, what does ham mean?
What is what?
Ham, H-A-M.
Oh,
What does it mean?
It's just weird. Last Easter, because I just thought of this yesterday, because yesterday was Easter.
I remember that.
Last Easter, we always had Easter at our house, and I told him to take out the ham, and he never defrosted it. So it was time to cook, and he said, I'm just gonna crank up the oven. And we said, that's not how it works. And I kept the instructions on my fridge because he put it there. And I've kept them there for the whole year because it didn't make sense, and he cooks, so it makes sense. He's like, I'll just crank it because it's not defrosted. And everybody was just making fun of him.
Yeah.
And I was sick last year on Easter, so he did everything. And
We never had the ham.
We never had the ham,
no.
And I think it's still in my freezer.
Well, I didn't understand him at first.
Oh my God,
I
it's so
thought he
funny.
meant he was a ham, but he said not a ham.
Oh my God.
So I didn't understand it. So thank you for clearing it up.
Yeah. Oh God.
Let me go to some. We have a little bit of time left, and if Patrick comes through with any other shenanigans, I'm glad I wasn't at your house.
It was funny. Yeah.
What are you going to do with all the wonderful memories you have of him?
I mean, I'm going to tell our son about everything. I mean, my one goal is that our son knows who his dad is. So I'm going to show videos and everything.
Pat has seen his son before you've seen him. They've already met in the angelic realm. But you have paraphernalia, you have music, you have, I think you said drawings.
Yeah, I have a lot
drawing.
of stuff.
And I think you have a very unique story. I think you should write it. That's a very good healing for you, and it's wonderful for the child. That I think you already chose the name.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, baby Patrick.
Baby Patrick.
Yeah.
And
I'll go rid of the baby part once he's born.
Yeah.
Just call him Patrick.
please
I'm
do.
going to like it when he's 21 if I call him baby Patrick. Yeah.
So that's a wonderful way of healing oneself.
Yeah.
Is to write, and it'd be great for the child to see it as he growing up. My father had a pair of gloves, or whatever I said. He was a fighter, and my dad did this. Leave out some of the shit that some of the stuff he did. Some of the bad stuff.
Yeah, no, I got to leave out a lot. So.
Yeah.
We'll tell him that.
Did Patrick know someone that didn't pass naturally?
Yeah.
Who is that?
his friend Anthony. It was his. I didn't know his. I never met his friend.
This
Anthony,
means
but-
very close.
Oh yeah, this was a hard one for him when that happened.
Was there another person involved in the demise of this individual?
No.
I don't think it was.
Where
just-
is it? Why is a car involved?
So it wasn't a car; it was an ATV. But his
what?
friend, it was an ATV,
Yeah.
right? Like
Quad.
a quad.
Quad.
Oh, like,
The four wheels,
four-wheeler,
like,
like-
all right, like, all right. Or that's why I asked if there was.
His
'cause
friend was driving it, and he hit a tree, and
Yeah, all right. So I was going to be. I didn't want to be too descriptive. That's why it went like this. All right. They're very together.
that actually makes me happy. Yeah.
Growing up, did you have a dog with long hair?
Kinda.
All right. And that dog is no longer with us. No. All right. So, because I'm seeing a dog with like long hair. The other thing, Saint Anthony means what? What meaning does Saint Anthony? I mean, I know the meaning of Saint Anthony, but what is? Does anyone know what that means?
I mean, whenever I would always tell him I have to do the St. Anthony prayer, and he said I was crazy when I did it because I would
Okay,
spin and
that's
say
what-
the prayer.
You could have came up with it a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker. You're a little slow on the draw. Did you try to feed him spaghetti? Pasta?
The last thing he actually ate was pastina.
Pastina, okay, spaghetti pastina.
Yeah.
No, because that's what he's shown me, pasta.
Yeah.
I wished, before we go, because we're at our tail end, I just want to flash this, because I think this was a wonderful thing, and you're a powerful sister and sister-in-law. I don't count you as sister-in-laws, I count you as sisters. You're four sisters. And I think
I agree.
you're a gift to each other. And I thank you for coming to the Edward Nunzio, the messenger. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of A Message with Edward Nunzio. We will see you soon.